We now move into session 4, focused on the adventure tourism safety framework. As adventure tourism continues to grow rapidly across India, safety can no longer remain dependent only on individual operator practices. It requires structured systems, clear policies, training standards, incident reporting mechanism, as we have learned from the previous sessions, regulatory support, and most importantly, a shared culture of accountability. For this session, we have Mr. Harikishore S, Joint Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, who will be chairing this session. It is my proud privilege to invite the session chair for this segment, Mr. Harikishore S, IAS Joint Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, has been actively involved in several important tourism initiatives and policy interventions focused on strengthening India's tourism ecosystem. Today, he will present the Adventure Tourism Safety Framework. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Harikishore S.
So as mentioned by her, I may not be able to stay for long. I may have to go at 3 o'clock. So she was mentioning that I'll be chairing this panel kind of. So I'll just present and go, please permit that. And in summary, this is nothing. What I wanted to communicate is we are very happy and proud that Model Adventure Tourism Framework is approved in the National Adventure Tourism Board. And as mentioned by Honorable Minister, it has been circulated to all the states. And we presented this presentation. This is the same presentation which I presented 1 week ago to all the secretaries of all the states of India. And we have educated them. They are willing to take it forward. Now the next step that is required is we should one by one approach each state, in the sense many states have, they have to make it as a law. So for a state to create a new law, it's a long process. It takes 6 months, it takes 1 year, and some of them may have to slightly customize it. So it may take another, some more time. So it's only a matter of time that states will adopt it, and our real objective is this Model Adventure Tourism Safety Framework. It will not have any value unless it is adopted by states. It's only a guidelines which states will make it as a rule for ensuring safety of tourists. So the next step for association, next step for ministry is to slowly and steadily engage with each state so that they adopt it. We got Narendra from Uttarakhand. Maybe you can lead it by Uttarakhand should, because there are more adventure activities in places like Arunachal, Uttarakhand, Himachal, etc. Automatically, and Rajasthan, Kashmir. So wherever the mountaineering activities, those states, if they take lead, and we can do whatever is possible. Like if there should be an educative session with individual states, etc., we can do that. So this is a summary of my speech. I can run through the presentation just for appraising you all with the details of the framework. So the part first is about general about adventure tourism. Like UNWTO defined adventure tourism as any activity where there is it's associated with the physical activity, there is a cultural exchange, there is interaction with nature. So this is the UNWTO definition of adventure tourism. You all know because you all are active stakeholders in adventure tourism. And second paragraph is nothing but India has huge potential, whether it is land-based, air-based, etc. Now, in the model safety framework also, these 29 activities are listed. What is an adventure activity? These 29 activities are adventure activities. Land-based activities are 15, air-based activities are 7, and water-based are 7. Now, why this framework? There is huge demand, there is huge potential, safety is very important. If you have one incident, immediately the demand will go down, there will be unemployment, there will be fear throughout the country that, okay, adventure is risky, we should not. So we really need to have a framework. And yes, we are doing good in adventure tourism framework also. There is a international benchmark for adventure tourism, the Adventure Tourism Development Index. And India was 96 in 2020. We moved to 38 in 2024, and I am sure with this safety framework, we will go further up. And in India, these are the risk landscape in India, and we really need to manage risk if there is a strict regulation. That's a bottom line. And because of this rationale, we have an adventure model framework where there is provision for licensing, there is provision for certifying guides, there are systems for regulation, there is a system for auditing, etc. So this proposal has everything: safety audit, insurance, environment safeguard, everything is put together, is our framework. And this is what ministry has done earlier. It started 2 years ago. In 2024, we had this draft framework was prepared and circulated to all the states. States gave their feedback. Again, it was put together as a single document. Again, it was given to legal affairs, legislative vetting, ministers' consultation, further consultation with states. So in 2 years, last February, this was approved by the Adventure Tourism Board, and finally it got approval of ministry through file. And minister released it last week. So this is the history of this framework. And I have 5 more slides on this framework, in the sense, this is into 3 parts. There are 7 chapters. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, and 7 are focusing on protection. Protection of tourists, protection of tour operators, protection of guides, workers and environment. And part 2 and 6 is focusing on promotion, to promote responsibly, to promote sustainably. And 2, 3, and 5 are on regulation. So this is the broad framework of the model law. And we'll explain each chapter quickly. Chapter 1 is defining everything. What is adventure? What are the activities? What is the scope of this? What is the coverage? What are the exemptions? Like indoor activities, amusement devices, passenger ropeways are all excluded. And those air-based activities which are governed by the National Air Sport Authority, it is excluded from this framework. So what are the exclusions? Primarily in the law, there will be definitions. So chapter 1 is taking care of the definitions. So from chapter 1, we will be able to clearly identify which are the adventure activities which this law will govern. And in chapter 2, the Adventure Tourism Framework, that is a law to be adopted by each state, proposes a governing framework. This governing framework is the proposal for creating a state adventure tourism regulatory authority or a union territory adventure tourism regulatory authority. It will be a statutory body, and it will function as the single body in the state. Once this law is passed by the state legislature, it will be the single body in the state to regulate, to audit, to register all the adventure activities. So this is the crux or core of the proposed law. And part 3 in detail explains about the registration and safety audit. And the summary is no adventure activity without an audit. First, there should be an audit. The safety audit is legally binding. It's mandatory for all pre-activities. There is validity for a minimum prescribed period. And once this audit certificate of your adventure activity is obtained, with that audit certificate, you apply. You apply or register. You apply for permission to conduct that particular activity. So part 3 of the law in detail explains the safety audit and the subsequent registration. And also in part 3, who will do the audit? It is not the state government officials or it is not the private operators who will do the audit. Audit will be done by statutory auditors. So how somebody can become an auditor? How auditors will be appointed? How they will conduct the audits? Their recognition and their ethics. Will they be independent? What is their credibility? So everything related to the selection of safety auditors and the publication of safety audit standards by the state. And everything will be in public domain. It will all be a transparent thing. So this chapter explains about audit, auditors, and also registration. It's okay, continuing. And there is penalty for defaulting. Now, chapter 4 explains the need for insurance and its compliances. So insurance is mandatory for operators, for workers, and also for all the participants. And this chapter explains everything about the requirement for taking an insurance for the adventure activity. Other details like incident reporting, rescue integration are also here. And also this chapter is detailing the leave no trace policy and the environmental sustainability. But the key thing is the insurance from a regulatory point of view. And this law also provides for grievance redressal system and for data based, for a governance based on data. So if there is an incident, it has to be reported. There will be an online portal for uploading the grievances. There will be unique tracking ID. Timelines will be defined. So it calls for a transparent and time-bound grievance redressal system, and also a data-driven safety governance. Strict penalties are there, I think up to 20 lakhs. Penalties are there for non-compliance. And part 6 is the community angle. In the definition also, adventure activities for the community, for the nature. So this chapter details the prioritization to be given by states for local community, how the skill development programs can be there, how we can facilitate community-led enterprises, and integration of indigenous knowledge and culture. So this chapter details the sustainable part and responsible part of adventure tourism framework. And chapter 7 is for accessibility and inclusion. It is aligned with PWD Act and all. And then there are annexures detailing about the ISO standards and all. So this is in nutshell the framework which we have approved and circulated. If you ask me what is the summary of this framework, it is nothing but an authority will be created in the state, and that authority will be defining the audit procedure. Everyone will have to do a safety audit, then will apply for permits. Once they get the permits, there is a system for grievance redressal. That's a summary of this. As I mentioned in my initial introductory speech, the requirement now is to slowly and steadily handhold states one by one so that they adopt this in the form of a legislation. So that is a requirement. And as a first step, ministry presented this to all secretaries, and they are all in agreement. They are all happy to adopt it. Now we have to conduct maybe one-to-one workshops, one-to-one meetings, maybe a regional workshops. And we may need to get a leader. Some states should do it immediately and see the benefits so that others are also motivated. So in next 2-3 years, I would say 2-3 years, we should have at least 30 states adopting this. That's a thought process in our mind. Yeah, this is okay. It's about safe, sustainable, and globally competitive adventure tourism ecosystem is the summary. And the way forward I have explained that now states should adopt this. So this is from a ministry's point of view regarding the framework. Other point, I think Honorable Minister also might have mentioned that government is giving good importance to adventure tourism. You can see from the budget announcement this year for the proposal of Himalayan trails and bird watching trails and all. So we mapped states for that. As per the budget announcement, we have to have some Himalayan trails. So we wrote to respective state. They will come up with an input that these are the potential trails. Then if there are any infrastructure gaps, ministry will be funding that. So that's about budget announcement. That's all. That's all from me regarding framework. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Thank you.
Hello. So my name is Rajesh Oja. I run adventure travel business in Himachal Pradesh primarily for last 32 years. Today's morning was really very educative. The minister came and gave us a lot of inputs. One thing I will like to suggest that the ministry, before these frameworks come into play, what we can do, we can create a mechanism where we can educate people who go for adventure travel activities. You know how to do, with whom you should travel. If it comes from a credible source like ministry, or we kind of sensitize the media, that you should talk about now the way things have mushroomed adventure activities and people are losing their lives. I think it is only required for the ministry to create a media cell or a media awareness program which talks about who are the kind of operators and activities you should be doing and what you should keep in mind. That will also deter if you the people who pays for it, if they know that whom to go with, a lot of these mushrooming players, there will be a deterrence for them to operate. So I was thinking that something can be done on this line. Maybe the association can also come up, but the ministry will have to provide some budget in sensitizing the media.
Maybe I'll have another counter question in the sense, what is the document or whom should we promote from the field? Say, suppose let us take river rafting in Rishikesh.
You should say that there
No,
are...
what is the, those who are having license of
Yeah.
government Uttarakhand,
Yeah.
or tour operators who are promoting certain packages, whichever. Your proposal is it for marketing the adventure tourism or for promoting the ground level? That's my question.
No, it is for sensitizing the people who go and indulge in that activity.
Okay, like
what
you-
should you keep in mind before indulging in an adventure activity?
So it's a
Because
general
what-
thing, like if you are buying something, you buy an ISI product kind of
Yes.
thing. If you are going for an adventure activity, look for these three things.
What's happening in Himachal, sir, every year there are several deaths for paragliding. And not that. All other activities, our trekking business, everything is getting really curtailed because people are really worried that because that incident will get blown in the media and everyone else will be seen with, with that negative lens. So I think this is only a good thing to do. And that will also help the states to make up their mind quickly to come out with this framework.
So will Mr. Bajaj be able to, help in that content part? What is?
I think the association can do that.
And from ministry, we selected Ms. Rashi is there. She is a nodal. She is here, so she'll be the nodal point for adventure tourism related activities. So we'll do that.
Thank you, sir.
Any other? Primarily through social media. Primarily through social media at present.
I think we should also
I
use
heard
the
your word budget also.
mainstream media, sir, because that seems still very credible.
Huh. Last, yes.
Namaste, sir. Kailash Mansarovar Yatra is one of the very important yatras for Hindus from all over the world. So will this Kailash Mansarovar Yatra will also be covered under the Model Adventure Tourism Safety Framework? As of now, there is no guidelines.
That I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, you can explain. This is a general thing where certain activities are excluded. This is, you can explain.
So, Rudraji, that's a good question. This is going to be a part of our next National Board for Adventure Tourism meeting, the 9th one, which is going to be chaired by the Honorable Minister, and all our colleagues from the Ministry of Tourism will be there as well. See, this is an MEA subject as well. It's not so much to do with the adventure tourism safety framework. This is more MEA. Indians are going every year for the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra, which is a combination of pilgrimage and adventure, right? And sadly, as we all know, many of them are dying due to negligence, right? So this is on our radar, and we are going to take it up together as a team, all of us, and ensure that we put some protocols and systems, right, to do that. Yeah. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our Ministry of Tourism. We've got a great partnership. It was just a few months back that our team of office bearers, we went and we met Mr. Harikishore, and we requested him for a lot of things pertaining to the growth of responsible adventure tourism in our country. And I just want to thank Mr. Harikishore and the entire team. They've been really, really responsive. It's like we are working with a team of brothers and sisters. So it's like we're on mission mode together. So thank you from the bottom of our heart, for the great partnership. And like he mentioned, I think in the next few months, few years, you will see a big, big change due to steps that are being taken today. Yeah. So, sir, sadly, Mr. Harikishore has a flight to take, but
No,
should
I'll
we?
also, just one point in sequel to your speech that maybe as an association you should also sit individually with states. I was director of Kerala Tourism earlier. So we know how states think and action happens in the state. They will be able to do so many things. We will be able to handle policy level things. We will be able to handhold states. We will be able to solve broader things here. But it is also equally important for the association also, like to have workshop with the state, to sit with state, to have to solve specific problems and also to encourage them and guide them. So just a suggestion. So thank you so much. If there are no other questions, thank you.
Thank you so much, Harikishore ji. It was really nice of you to spare this time for us.